Hello, everybody. It's about that time. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey, everybody. Thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews. Today, we're going to have another Virginia-based brewery here. This is Chaos Mountain, and they're out of Callaway, Virginia. Been to the brewery, know the owner, and especially the head brewer, Will. Real good friend of mine. They were at the Rare Beer Brew Festival that I attended over this past weekend, and always a pleasure talking and sampling their beers. Will is in the same Brewers Guild that I am, the Star City Brewers Guild, and I've been enjoying his beers for about 5 or 6 years now. And all those guys make some very, very tasty beers, and Will especially. He quit his job and became the head brewer here and helped this guy get the brewery off the ground, and is the head brewer there, and definitely knows how to make a tasty beer, guys. And this is a new offering from them too. I have not had this beer before. When I seen it at the Barrel Chest, I said, "Oh yeah, we got to try this." This is Chaos Mountain's Cocoborealis, and what that is a triple. Let me read it off the bottle here. Cocoborealis, a triple chocolate stout. So if you're into the stouts and you're into the chocolate stouts, this is a triple chocolate stout. It's not a big beer. It's a 6% alcohol by volume. And the commercial description on this beer is the same thing that's written on the back of the bottle here, and I'm going to read it to you. It says, "Indulge your senses in swirling layers of rich chocolate and coffee. Then ask yourself, how many chocolatey things can you add to a stout? We found 3 that we love. First, we start out with 2 chocolate roasted malts. Then during brewing, we add a big dose of rich cocoa powder. Finally, we age this stout on our organic cocoa nibs. The result is a decadent dark chocolate liquid of the gods we like to call Cocoborealis. Triple chocolate stout. IBUs on this beer are 31. It's only a 6%er, so you can have several of these without being face down in the carpet or the dirt. Very, very nice. And this is going to go well with your stronger dishes, and especially your chocolate dishes. I mean, you can have this before dinner, during dinner, or even after dinner as a dessert. So looking forward to this beer. Really am. And they didn't have this beer there because Will and the guys, this was a rare beer event, so they didn't bring anything that they bottled. And they brought what the event called for, rare beers. So they bought 3 specialty beers that they do not bottle. They have some of these on tap at the brewery that they brought to the rare beer event. But like I said, yesterday's beer review, a lot of the breweries just brought what they normally bottle or can. So that's not what the beer event was about. It was about specialty beers and rare beers, and some of them didn't adhere to what the rules were. So I applaud Will and the guys down there for bringing what was supposed to be brought to the beer festival, and that was what was a rare beer, something that's not typically bottled or available out in the grocery stores and the craft beer stores. So, and that's what the whole thing was supposed to have been about, stuff that you can't get your hands on normally. So I'm glad that they did what they did, and because I wanted to tell you, I said, "Have you got the Cocoborealis there?" And he goes, "No, we brought the rare stuff here." He said, "We're about the only ones that played by the rules on this game," and I agree. Like I said, a lot of them brought stuff that they have in the bottle in the cans already, and that's not what the event was supposed to be about. So you end up paying for to go in and sample beers that you could buy at the grocery store or the craft beer store, and that's not what it was supposed to be. So Will, thumbs up to you, brother, for bringing the rare stuff, and thumbs up to you for taking the adventure and diving off and quitting your job and helping them open up the brewery down there. And I've met the owner and his wife, and they're both great people. I'm terrible with names though, and I apologize. Just like yesterday's beer that I got from Southern Street, I met the rep and I can't remember his name, and I've met the owner down there at Chaos Mountain, and I can't remember their names. It sucks getting old and you short-term memory loss. I mean, it just, unless I have a card or write it down, I can't remember. I'm horrible with names. I really am. So, alright guys, let's get on with this one. Food pairings for this style of beer. It says it's going to be your, it's an American stout. So cuisine here, it says this is barbecue, cheese of buttery brie Gouda Havarti, your Swiss earthy Camembert Fontina, and it does go well with your chocolate dishes, of course, especially this one being a triple chocolate. And the meat for this is beef, shellfish, smoked meat, game, and grilled meat. Glassware is a pint, becker, tumbler, mug, stein, and Sidell. I got my favorite glass here, the Sovereign beer glass that my brother Parrish sent me. And it's not recommended for extended sellers, being a 6%er. A lot of the stouts that are your 7, 8, 9, 10%ers and bigger are going to keep for a long time. This one here, you're going to want to, it's a 6%er, so I mean, you want to probably want to drink this within the first year that it's produced. And I don't think Will and them are dating anything yet. They may be dating the cases, but I don't think they're dating their bottles or anything yet. So you need to get this and drink it as fresh as possible for them. And I'll take another quick look when I come back at the bottle to see if it's got any kind of dating on it. But I don't think they do. They're just getting ready to say they're probably just barely a year old if they are. So real nice cap, got their logo on it, very nice. And let's get it in the glass, see what we got. 6%er, I don't know if I want to pour this down the center, it might produce a massive head. Not too awful bad. Excuse me. Alright, about on that pour, a little over a finger of hand on that. Over into the light. Through the thick part of the bulb here, I'm not getting any. And through the bottom part there, down through the small part underneath, it is a red, ruby colored, caramel colored beer. Very nice. So it's not pitch black. It does have some light transparent through the thin part of the glass. So. But through that part there, I can see the bulb through it. It's got a little haze to it, but I can see the light and the bulb through it. So let's get a nose on this. I'm getting chocolate. Imagine that. I'm getting chocolate, maybe some brown sugar, some caramel and toffee, some cocoa. Got a nice sweet smell to it. The IBUs on this one is listed as 31, guys. So it shouldn't have any bitterness to it at all, basically. Well, I'm anxious to dive into this since I haven't had it before. So cheers, everybody. Cheers, Will. Great job. Smells delicious. Now the chocolate is not overpowering like I would expect it to be. There is some slight bittersweet notes on the back end. I was expecting it to be more of a milk chocolate with the cocoa powder added to it. Slight hints of some coffee in there. But I'm getting more of the bittersweet chocolate than I am milk chocolate. And I have found that to be true on the beers that I have brewed. I have brewed a couple of stouts and used the cocoa nibs myself. And to me, they lend the chocolate cocoa flavor to it, but they also add some bitterness to it too. Very nice. Well, this is right out of the fridge, and I got a feeling some of that chocolate and cocoa is going to come out more as it warms up. And that's exactly what I intend to do, is let it warm up a little bit, because that's basically where you're going to get your flavors from a stout or a chocolate stout. It's when it becomes up to room temperature, and when it's right out of the fridge, it's not releasing all of those flavors, especially in this style of beer. And a lot of reviewers we'll set it out, or we won't even refrigerate it. We'll drink it room temperature to start off with. I like to start off with a little chill to it, and let it warm up, and see the differences that it comes out. So that's just me. That's how I like to do it. So, but anyway, let me take it back and let her take a sip or two, and may even fire up a little cigar to go with this, and we'll come back and do the final chug and grade after it warms up. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little left here. Now that it's warmed up to room temperature, the chocolate is just a little more intense. But I was expecting a little bit more of the milk chocolate taste in this as opposed to the bittersweet chocolate. And like I said, a lot of times I have used cocoa nibs in brewing stouts before, and to me those nibs tend to lend a more of a bittersweet taste to them than a milk chocolate taste. But with the cocoa powder that they said that they added, I figured that would add a little bit to it. But a lot of times when you add stuff like that, the yeast eats those sugars up. And it usually ends up being a little more on the dry side after it eats all those fermentable sugars up. Doesn't have any mention of any lactose being added to this. That may add a little bit of more of the sweetness to it, but I don't think they did use lactose. It doesn't mention it, and I didn't talk to Will about it, whether they did use any lactose in this. Very nice beer though. I was expecting a little more chocolate flavor than what I am getting though, I will say that, but still very nice. To me, a very nice entry level for a chocolate stout category. If you're wanting to get into a stout and haven't tried that before, and you want to try a nice chocolate stout that's not going to be overpowering in the milk sweetness or overpowering in the chocolate, because there's a lot of other beers that I have reviewed and tried and reviewed that have a more intense chocolate flavor than this one does, but a lot of times that's overpowering to some people. It becomes a novelty beer when, especially if they're adding artificial flavors or things like that to the beer to get that chocolate taste to it. And these guys have not. They have not added any kind of artificial flavors or colorings. So very well made beer. So let's do the final chug on this one. Definitely getting the bittersweet chocolate, a hint of the cocoa, not much. Maybe some brown sugar or some molasses in there. Just a hint of coffee. Very tasty. Very, very tasty. Guys, I went to both sites, Rate Beer and Beer Advocate, and neither one of them have any scores. Like I said, I think this is a new offering from Will and the guys down there at Chaos Mountain. As far as I'm concerned, it's an A beer. I said I was going to look, but like I said, don't think they are putting any kind of dating on the bottles. They are probably dating the cases of this stuff, which is, I don't want to say irrelevant, but I don't know anybody that buys this stuff by the case, but it's a lot easier for them to date the case than it is to have that machine that dates the bottles, and maybe they will one day be able to do that and have the dating on the bottles and stuff, especially on these lower ABV beers, 6%ers and less. So very nice, guys. For me, I'm gonna give it the 8, which is the A minus. I do think it's an A beer. It's a very well made beer. No alcohol taste, but I will say I was expecting a little more chocolate notes on this, especially since it said triple chocolate on the label. So just my opinion. I do appreciate what they do down there, and I consider Will a good friend, and I enjoy his beers. So if you're in the Roanoke area, I don't know how far their distribution is reaching out now. Like I said, very new brewery. I'm not sure they've quite been in business quite a year yet. If it has, it's been right at a year. So they're just getting off the ground and producing some awesome tasting beers. And look forward to doing some more of their stuff here soon. I've got one more of their beers in there, and I'm going to review it here in the next week or two. And getting more and more of their stuff in the bottles and getting it out. And I may even, he invited me to come back down to the brewery because I hadn't been there since the grand opening, and pick up a growler of some rare beer stuff like they had at the festival this past weekend. And I may review one of those growlers in the near future. So with that being said, no other ratings from anybody. A- for me. If I was putting a numeric rating on this, I would say probably a 90 or a 91. So very tasty beer. And if you've had it, let me know what you think. And let's go see what's in the fridge tomorrow, guys. See you then.